Ladies and gentlemen,
the
Call of Duty Mobile World Championship are about to kick off.
Oh, we've got an active crowd. Let's go. I'm amped up. I think the thing about this best of 7, just to kind of talk to the dynamic that involves a best of 7, Elevate are going to have an advantage early in this season because they get the first opening map selection. That also means they get their first control selection.
Só a
So it is
camuflagem da
crucial
Fennec,
for
mesmo
Q9
o
to
rosto
keep things tight
pensativo.
and hopefully extend this series later down the road where you see your arsenal and a very square footing on the Kurahana.
I think it puts an exclamation mark on how important these first 3 maps are then, especially for Q9. Walk away with one of these would be great. Summit is actually going to be the first venue, of course. We have not seen these two teams fight it out here, but expect for your
Isso é grau. Que é sagral. Vai fazer de sucesso, é brincadeira, viu? Galera, tudo vai começar a usar a grau só por causa desse cara.
Locking down the shots to find the continual kills, but his help is around the backside, and that's good. Q9 already doing a nice job around P1, trying to get some high ground control now as they look towards P2.
Tirei, galera, tirei, tá? A voz da mulher aí. Depois eu ligo de novo.
Getting all the kills, but then pushing a little bit further forward does open up the back P3 spawn ever so slightly with 5 seconds remaining inside of P1. Q9 would have loved to hold on to the rest of the high ground, but
rapaz, o Curry tá estricado já. Que isso?
Rotating on over, check. He's already got a KRM at the ready. Pred missile called in, that's extra space for Q9 to work with his elevator, trying to move this from the right side of the map. Trying to get a little bit of a pinch now as the split spawn situation allows a natural pinch to start to occur, and with that Quo, able to find himself too and push Q9 out of the hard point.
How long can you hold? You know, you mostly just want to get as much time as possible, but get, most importantly, those spawns, and we'll elevate, we'll just start sprinting into them. Other side of the map now being held by Q9. Claw will start to be popped immediately for Q9, and a War Machine soon to follow as well.
Yeah, really solid start here. Uling, of course, leading the charge for Q9, the first operator to pop. Jet down low, KRM hitting like a menace from mid-range. That's enough for Q9 to hold into the hard point, but they are a bit awry, trying to make their way over to the left side of the map where our new hard point will open up. Elevate starting to fight back, but they get pinched up as Uling once again doubles down, and now you've got Q9 on the favored side going to 3.
Talk about the consistency of the Emperor Uling on this very fine day. He was a problem for X-Rock in the respawns, and it's nice to see the continuation here, especially if you are a fan of Q9. 51 to 29. You're already cutting past mid-maps, but spawns have occurred.
Indeed the case, and the extra kills for Yopi. Elevate know that they need to push through this, so they're going to commit to Claw to watch the flank and actually turn back around as the snow pathway is still being held by Q9. Susano in a little bit of trouble, able to find one more before dropping, but Q9 have stabilized and won back the spawns. They will win rotation and jump into the hard point.
Starting to set themselves a little bit on a further flank, but Q9, I mean, they can just focus on the front, keep this as scrappy as possible. Already have a couple operators just to make sure that they can maintain this time.
Great space being opened up as Jet through mid has the Purifier. That range will eventually see him shut down. Sun takes his attention to the background, but that's Elevate now with the break. Nice little surround and wrap around the hill. Allows them to flip the spawns and the hard point simultaneously, and Clo will make sure that there is definition around this last 20. Equalizers out.
Olha, eles vão pegar ainda o resto do ponto, finalzinho.
Here comes the hit for Q9. Broken ankles, doesn't matter. Elevate find all 4 kills and they'll get the scrap.
I still find that to be an absolute win.
Nossa, velho, os caras da Q9 nasceu errado. 2. Nossa, nasceu errado ainda.
You actually giving up a lot of spawns and a lot of space at new.
Yes, Susano already doing the job, found one. Trying to get in, to try to flip these spawns back where Q9 will be on the left-hand side of the map. So far, so good, though. Q9 still holding it desperately. Down to how does Elevate push back through, open up this space. PJ's trying to do that with the, not Purifier yet, but he had it ready. Instead, it's just going to be Elevate just trying to do this the hard way, and it's not working out fully until finally you got Susano and Yopi to clean things out, and now the Purifier with Kendi's War Machine can take focus to the front.
Just keep everybody at bay, kind of herd them into these very narrow choke point that exits out of P1, and Kendi is just finding random nonsense kills, just yeeting these grenades into the distance, all calculated, of course. The majority of time coming through for Elevate here on P4. They did a magnificent job on the transition. Looking pretty good for the scrap time as well.
That's a lot of operators gone, though, for Elevate. Q9 trying to get a late flip, and they will secure a break. This is good in terms of how Q9 can hold off
Ainda tirou um ali do Red Glitch.
Be said about how Elevate did this on P3. So again, very 50-50 battle to this point. Elevate going to commit their last hit to jump on in because why not? But Q9 right there to meet them. Last one left is Chen, and Elevate are really avoiding him nicely, but not enough numbers to actually secure the break. We've got a tie game going into the next set.
Crucial moment on this transition going into one. Wuling does have a War Machine at the ready. Probably going to see a couple kills come through and might use it just to try to keep Elevate trapped on whatever side of the map Q9 see fit. Chen's going to start the slow flank coming through with the KRM. He's going to get caught. Does do well to at least find one. Had a good look at the second. And it's just space provided for Q9 to move forward.
Sun able to drop in a Pred missile to help support Wuling and this War Machine active. He's got a lot to learn, though, in terms of where this Elevate team is trying to break from, and well, it's Curly who actually beats him to the punch. Claw able to find two from the front doors. Not going to find the third, and that's right as Wuling loses his War Machine. Maybe an opportunity here for Elevate to break this hill wide open. A couple of kills come through, allowing at least some sort of contest, but Q9 still just too many members to deal with. Kendi trying to do what he can. Tallies up one off the low health pool, but still it's Q9 and mostly Wuling who are locking things up until Susano finds the opportunity to pop the claw, take a couple, and Elevate quickly bounce right back in for the scrap.
Gotta be careful with how far forward you put here if you are Elevate giving up.
Nossa!
But it's a massive spree to come through from Susano. The rest of Elevate trying to follow suit.
Susano, o melhor 3D do mundo? É isso mesmo? Toma.
Opportunity here though for Q9. They've got a couple operators at the ready. And with that, a couple eliminations to get this hard point started off on the right foot. Clo on the catwalk, trying to make his way in, but net by Sun Sparrow, who's really getting to work with it now. Good read on where Elevator are coming from. Loses the last charge of it. Now has
3D de giroscópio.
and that works out nicely. Mauchi off the flank. He's got the equalizers out to make sure nobody from Elevate can set up a sort of a pitch, and that's
pegada, hein? Pegada, hein? Tudo igual.
Flank that's currently being put together. It's PJ up to 27 eliminations, going to try to stun his way forward. He has assistance from his teammates from the middle of the building, but it's a north to south spawn that is currently occurring all the way across the map. Finally will subside. Elevator on the better side of the map, but Scrap Time still left to fight for here too.
Susano will jump in to contest. Lots of damage, able to find a kill, and his teammate will make sure that he stays alive. So really good help from Elevate, flipping the map, and also getting a little bit of contest going here in the last 15 seconds or so.
Susano com 32 kills. O Clo não tá muito bem nessa partida.
Now the play over towards the right side of the map. Elevate still
Pulim com 27.
the left side because P2 is still active. As that lock starts to come out, now the spawns will move, and wouldn't you know it, Q9 spawns behind. So the early effort for Elevate immediately counteracted, and Q9 are flooding their way forward.
Yeah, Elevate very quickly, just cutting through the middle of the map, trying to get into these gunfights before they actually end up happening over inside of the car itself, just trying to be a little bit of a nuisance on the opposite side for Elevate to help them get a little bit further forward. Breaking enemy lines has been Susano, and a War Machine gets popped by Kendi. They're looking to hold.
Sun had an off spawn, and he thought maybe he was going to hit a bit of a pinch, but does not get the read on the Elevate setup, and all of a sudden, it's the Filipinos who find themselves tucked into corners on the hard point. Kendi running out of the War Machine. Purifier behind this, but it runs out at the same time, so Q9 find 3 straight eliminations, and now it's their turn. War Machine for Wuling at the front door. Mauchi setting up a bit of a pinch over towards the connector. Sloppy initially, but still, he uses that as an opportunity to weaken this Elevate approach.
Tu viu isso, galera? Vocês viu isso? O maluco fazendo zigue-zague, o cara pinou tudo.
This is a very egregious flank coming through from Yopi, gets snuffed out, but the spawns will still remain at this moment in time. 170 to 159. And when you look at just the stats from left to right, as far as KD is concerned, the Q9 are outslaying Elevate by a steep margin, but it's still only just about a 20-point game, barely. Elevate have the rotation to new, and they're anchoring out the back spawns.
Big moment here to counteract Q9's rotation from the last hard point. Susano feeling the pressure.
Susano tá jogando muito, hein?
That may be an opportunity for Q9 to flood. They're actually not going to play for the sponsor to get into the hard point first. So Kendi now has to take his attention forward. Good kills from him. Maybe a chance to do a little bit more, but Curly, he's got the claw out and he's making it work as he finds a
Esse jogo aqui vai ser no detalhe. Vai ser no detalhe.
Off the front, and they will get the split as the spawn as well.
Fica muito pegado. Do começo até o fim.
But Q9, they are twisted right now. They're reading all these spawns. They're maintaining presence around the hard point and setting themselves up for the returning gunfights as well. 193 to 168. The break does come through for Elevate, and it is massive. This 20 seconds will tie up the game again as we go to new once more.
I mean, we're 30-30 on P1, P2. We're 40-20s on both 3 and 4 for one side or the other. This is as tight as it gets. We're watching some great COD, friends. Both teams, when asked a question, provide answers. So now we reset again. 190, 193. A couple of operators in play. Pred missile early for Sun. Does lock down 2, giving a numbers advantage to Q9.
Got to work your way back through here in Q9. Mauchi wanting to make sure that they get the majority of time here at 1, and Equalizer is very good at this moment in time. Starting to push a little bit forward. He's actually going to catch a couple of spawners off guard, able to find 2 more. There's still one hanging around the joint. It's Yopi. Easy cleanup will come through. There's a rogue player of PJ, but good value coming through there for the Equalizer, I'll say that.
Booling, trying to get the War Machine into play. Purifier also being called here. Q9 trying to gain some separation on the scoreboard late into this map, and it's working out nicely. Elevate, push back, have to reform and try to hit again. 25 seconds to fight. Contest this in.
Nossa. Aí é que a nave jogou muito. Aí é que a nave jogou muito.
Greatest lead we've seen to this point as Elevate try one more time.
Still holding on to the better side of the map, and they will clean house. So
big.
With 5 dead, they're going to be able to set themselves up to the high ground. A rogue spawn does occur, though, from Mauchi. Wonder if he's able to find anything. No, Yopi, too aware, but the returning gunfights coming from Sun Curly.
Caraca, caiu todo mundo da Elevate.
That's 4 down. Yopi, last one left alive, does well to keep some high ground position available for Elevate to use, and as they come off spawn, they do so beautifully. Shed, KRM, not quite able to land. Kendi trying to force the battle forward into Q9 spawn, but doesn't fully work out. A chance here for Elevate. You've got the Purifier and the Claw at the ready, trying to find whatever they can over the top of the Hardpoint. Shed runs right into PJ. That's not going to be enough for them. And Elevate are going to clean the floor. Q9 now spread across the map off the spawn.
Equalizer called. Kendi's War Machine is about to dissipate.
No!
Value after value. 220 to 225. Not enough time for Elevate to still win here.
Não foi o Ken, não fosse usando.
Glow from the back line, only finding one. The rest of his teammates right there to pick up. Tie game. Likely to see another hard point. Q9 already thinking about that. Have a player on rotation, but you can't lose track of the current hard point. Elevator's still on, and they're still earning time. There's still a chance to put this thing pretty well without reach. Q9 now taking the fight back, but Elevator winning gunfights on rotation.
Oh, they baited them, and they got the split.
Galera, Elevate ganhou rotação. Elevate ganhou rotação. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. E agora? E agora aqui pra fechar? Será? Ou será que a Q9 tem um plano aqui pra quebrar esse ponto, que é muito difícil? Todos nós sabemos. Isso aí, pô. Esses caras é muito bom, galera. Esses caras é muito bom. Tá doido, bicho. Essa Elevate dá aulas.
Showcasing at the end of P2.
Tá maluco.
To get them all in to fight for the old time of P2, showed all of the information that they needed, and it gave all of the easy routes to be hit. Pinched in from behind, tough scenes. Curly had the ace up the
É impressionante, mano, que a Elevate consegue quebrar a rotação muito fácil, pô. Muito fácil. Os caras podem estar, tipo assim, morrendo. Pode morrer 10 caras dos caras. Eles vão conseguir depois quebrar. Eles conseguem. Luiz, obrigado pelos 5. Por conta do contrato. Contrato, eu tenho que assistir essa live aqui em inglês. Fico nada, filho. Eu fico no chinelo contra esses caras aí. Elevate é Filipinas.
Rotation to 3, it doesn't work out.
You just have to cement it for whatever leader's advantage you could possibly get, especially for how
53 kill.
Well Elevate consistently through that sub at hardpoint were exquisitely exceptional at its holding hardpoint in front before the break, and never really came through Suzano. What a hell of a map, number 1 out of Japa. Man, 53 and 39 with a minute and 25 of OBJ time. What are we talking about out here? Again, when you look from top to bottom at certain points in time throughout that game,
os dois times jogaram bem, os dois times.
It did.
Fast and furious. We definitely saw
a família dos caras aí, galera. Foi tudo lá torcer. Maneiro, maneiro demais.
For the calls from our IGL. Wait for the go button. Let's just not, you know, play solo rank mode and just run.
E aí, SKS, salve. Eu usava giroscópio quando jogava de 2 dedos. Agora só enquanto miro jogando de 4 dedos. Opa! Eu vou testar o giroscópio, SKS. Obrigado pela doação aí, viu? Valeu, valeu.
Performance and success
fighting range.
On this firing range. Again, just to reset up everything, firing range is a venue these two teams know quite well against one another, with Elevate having the edge.
Yeah, casual 22 rounds of search play here last time that they had the chance.
It's unlocked.
They will be on offense. We talk about this map quite often with these guys. They love to just smoke, flash, nade, and then get the bomb planted. Will Elevate have a response for it? This time, they are holding off on their counter nades, and they will, unfortunately, not fully land. So now you got to do this the hard way. Try to re-clear out the backside of trailer. Easier said than done, as Q9 already had the post plant set up.
What a sick high-low after a very quick plant coming through. It's going to leave Susano in a 1v5, not very likely. Always expected to play inside of American, but I mean, a blistering pace for a first round out of Q9.
Olhei pro celular, a partida já acabou já. Áudio da Q9.
Get the bomb planted, but knowing that they didn't clear trailer, whether they saw a body in there or not, the high-low just to dispose of it quickly and not lose any lives along the way was lovely to see.
Yeah, absolutely the case. This is actually going to feel very familiar because
os caras só escutam. Os caras da Q9 só escutam e passa a cal.
Hey, you have to understand that it's going to be a smoke first, stun second. Do you challenge through that smoke? Do you wait to play your counter nades?
O Linha é o cara da jogada, velho.
With how Q9 try to approach this offense. This time, not towards A. It's going over to the B site. Initially, there is an elimination.
Nossa, o Linha nem viu.
Towards the B part of the map, which is now where Q9 have to keep their focus.
And they have full coverage of this. But Elevator setting themselves up for a late flank potentially for Yopi, or he might just join the efforts through the middle of the map, but an exit frag upon the bomb plant. 3v3.
Yeah, maybe a bit of mistiming right there. Looked like there was supposed to be a defensive stun to force that challenge.
Nossa!
Yopi just slides off
Nossa senhora, velho. É muita precisão, rapaziada. Tá doido.
I mean, going back to the interview, just instant callback, just wait for the call and then go. That's exactly what happened. Yobi was on an island by himself and just waited for any sort of advantage to take. And found that pinch scot-free. Big 2 kills. We are tied up in round number 3.
Clean stuff on the retake attempt. Q9 still passive through the middle of the map, looking for some spam shots from Sun in towards trailer. None will land. And for Elevate's defense, trophies inside of trailer with a double stack. Now this one trophy on the backside of A, that's supposed to be there to keep Kendi safe, will likely be destroyed just by the amount of incoming nades that are likely to come through for Q9 if they decide to commit onto the A site. So this setup in the trailer is crucially important if Elevate do get tested today.
O Susano vai pegar um, hein?
Q9 gonna see what they can find over towards the B part of the map.
Ai, Pino.
That's
bold.
That's aggressive.
Yep.
We'll give it up for now. As you saw the information on the other side of wood, expecting for things to go B, but it seems like Q9 are actually using it as an opportunity for a little bit of a
Susano, ele é muito inteligente, galera. Ele joga sempre mais avançado pra pegar alguém.
Wasting a lot of time just trying to find a pick. All 10 or 9 players still alive.
And Yopi gets found inside a trailer. Q9 surely could utilize that advantage and hit A. That's going to force a rotation back. Susano on the way over towards American. He will only have a pixel peek here down the lane backside trailer. So this is important to note. Again, when does Q9 want to execute? A couple of nades just to bait the defense into thinking this is B. Smoke at mid gets denied by Trophy. Q9 have not been able to get the setup that they want. So now it's just down to can they flood these nades and take control of trailer.
Not able to get the information they want either. I mean, you should know that someone's going to be American, but you got to be careful with the no smoke. PJ is very much so still lurking inside a trailer.
PJ on the cross. Shots are out. Misses his opportunity. Has to value his life here. And very wisely backs up. Bomb will be allowed to go down. Keep your eye on PJ. Does he want to try to push through this? His teammates over towards 10, giving us the offer that they're not going to play for a wrap. They're going to try to punt this from the front. Contact though at mid. That's troubling for Elevate. Mauchi now wins back mid-map, and Q9 can keep their full focus on the front, where PJ has to force the issue. Nothing there.
Nossa.
Perfect from Q9.
Yeah, wonderful execution coming through once they finally got the isolation for the play call to get over towards the trailer side. Again, without a smoke, you're always feeling a little nervy about that push, given the pixel peak that Susano was holding, and at least the angle that was being held inside a trailer. But I mean, to your point, PJ missing their opportunity, and simply need to be able to go 1-for-1 in that regard. Maybe deny the plant. Does not happen. Q9 take a 1-round lead.
Early offensive smoke and stuns over towards trailer. PJ's in trouble. Pushes forward through the smoke to make sure no one had pushed in towards mid. Late trophy system down. And it's an opening nade that lands onto PJ inside the trailer. So once again, Q9 do what they always do. Smoke the front door, get the bomb down, and now force Elevate to have to consider how they want to retake.
Really need to start seeing some late stuns being held for Elevate to try to deny them that space.
Yeah.
Not maybe just try to contest the bomb plant, but find yourself in a 4v5. Try to go for an egregious pick over there for Kendi, and Susano loses his life. It's over.
Yeah, absolutely is. Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, there's two ways that Elevate could deal with this play down A lane.
Right.
The first is you smoke mid, you pull off what I like to call shark play. You smoke it, you push up towards wood, you
3 a
force
1.
Q9 to respect there could be someone at mid. Otherwise, you hold back, and like you said, wait for the nades to come out, throw some of your own, hopefully you delay the plant from happening until the smoke dissipates, and then you have a chance to contest a little bit more freely without having to worry about deterrence from stuns and smokes. Here is a very aggressive offensive smoke already being placed. Elevate playing through it though. And with an opening elimination on the Sun, that opens up some sniper freedom as well.
I was about to say, or third option, just early stun and try to deny the space to not allow Q9 to walk a little bit further forward. I mean, they really were thinking that it was going to come A aggressively, and it was looking like that for Q9. 2 defensive players now over towards B for Elevate side. Q9, though, down a man. Might just have to do this the old-fashioned way, just gun this first player.
No.
Oh, but Susano does go 1 for 1. That's fine, especially with another teammate nearby. Damage is out, but Clo will fall. Trade through mid-map is good. And with this play, not only have Elevate kept their numbers, they've also taken away the A side of the map, so they have to know that Uling is playing somewhere over here towards B.
Odin 1v3. No easy 1v1s.
Vamos ver se o Uling faz a play. 1v3.
All the trigger just playing shots to the second.
Faz nada.
Not going to be able to walk away with that one. No free clutches today. But hey, how about a third option? Just stun over the top of the smoke and just deny the space. It works for now until the stuns and the nades are a little bit better time for Q9 to unearth you from that position.
It's a weird setup for Q9. They're actually doing the same thing again. It's a double smoke at mid. It's almost the exact same setup. There's no smoke deep at A. This is only to give Elevate something to worry about at middle, and Kendi is able to still find Mao Chi, top side wood. Play coming through trailer. Shen in some trouble, wants to get some barrel control, but it's being held by Yopi. Considering the space, he still holds down the trigger. Uling looking for the plant, and he
cara
will get it
botou a
down,
cara
but
e o
it's
tiro
still
não era
not
nem
the
pra
advantage for
ele,
Elevate
meu.
as Clo finds trades at mid.
Yeah, we'll get the
Só
bomb
o Sun.
planted. The exit, though, not as clean as you would like. It's going to leave Sun in a 1v3. Does have a sniper rifle, but is not in the clutch position.
No.
He's going to round this corner. He's just going to get gunned. If you can go 1 for 1, that would have been sick. But you were the last player left alive as Elevate have a
Os
brilliant
caras não
retake
pina
back
tiro,
over
não.
Yeah, really nice stuff from Elevate on this defensive half. Just making sure Q9 weren't getting away with absolute murder on the A site, which is something that Stalwart had a little bit of a difficult time doing. Not the case here. Really good stuff coming out. And that now all of a sudden puts us into a 3-3 half as we swap the sides. What is Elevate going to give us an offer of in terms of their offense? We saw when they were playing Tunisia just a moment ago. It wasn't just getting into sight, it was getting through it. Will they have the
Mudou os
opportunity
lados.
to do the same thing here, scaling deep?
Vamos ver quem é que vai jogar melhor desse lado.
Already over towards A, trying to hunt for some more information over by Showers. The bomb is lurking in this area. And the biggest thing for Elevate right now is how do you get Yopi involved? He is the bomb carrier, but you really want to try to get this guy a couple more kills and a lot more space to free roam.
Yeah, I think the biggest part here is, though, you get Sun, who is supposed to be sniping this A lane. And so you can have Kendi just trying to scout to see if anyone throws a shoulder on the barrel. And as you approach, the only thing that you're worried about if you're Elevate is a play through trailer. Curly looking for an off angle. That works out for one trade, but can't get anything more. Now it's just down to Chen, and he is working with the shotgun. Not what you want. But Elevate still may feel the need to try to push forward instead. Chen gets caught.
Meu Deus, esses caras é muito bom, cara. Esse cara é muito bom, tio.
I mean, the stuns and nades only found so much information, but that's exactly what we're talking about. Just no free, easy gunfights. Everything should be traded. Good follow-up by Yopi to then isolate the player.
Eles trabalham muito bem conjuntos. É bonito de ver.
Now they have a 1-run lead.
Similar idea here for Q9, except
Já caiu 2 da Elevate.
Where Curly and Sun will land.
Momento da Q9 empatar aqui, não pode vacilar não.
Cooking up a nade for trailer. It's a bit short. Trailer player will back off. That was Chen initially. And I think Q9 have recognized that if there were to be a hit in a 3v5, it's likely coming to be. So they'll move Chen over that direction and hope that the long-range snipers from Uling and Sun can hang on to A and mid.
Yeah, you got Sun still lurking around American. So you know that one pixel peak might still be there for the information. But you just hold your numbers, take it as a retake if need be. But Sun's opening pick will be taking that jump shot every single time on defense. Believe that. As the
Cara, se eles forem
start to look towards jungle, but it's a triple
pra B,
Yeah. This is just a great
vão ter 3 caras cravados no mesmo lugar. Pegou! Aí, ó. Por essa ele não esperava, né? Que tinha um cara deitado de shotgun. Olha a velocidade desse cara. 3 dedos. Mano, tem que ser muito rápido. O cara joga de 3 dedos, gente. Slidou, mirou rapidão. Caralho.
What's the adaptation going to be here for Elevate? Nades to the middle, double smoke.
4 deles não tem essa velocidade não, bicho.
Just the same lurk around showers, expecting for these nades to be able to pick something up.
The other thing you got to keep in mind is that Chen is not always running a shotgun. This time he's got an LMG, so he will be playing a little bit more passively around trailer. And he's also more of a threat if Sun feels like he needs some help over towards the side of A long. So something to keep in mind every time we see Chen. Does he have a shotgun? Does he have an LMG? That will give you the indication of what Q9 want to do defensively.
It's a certain amount of PTSD from the last time he was stuck inside a trailer with the shotgun. Didn't exactly go well, but I'm not saying the MG42 would have helped him out in that situation, but it definitely was going to be better once the gunfight starts to occur. A minute has already gone through this round number 9 thus far. Not a whole lot of space has been taken by Elevate, but these nades are going to allow them to do so.
It's interesting. There's 2 trophies for Elevate at mid, none down here at A long. And this is what I'm talking about. Sun can watch one corner, then if he feels the threat is there, Chen can pop out, get to work, spray things down, find the opening first blood. Now it's to a 5v3. And once again, Elevate, you just don't like the idea of going A, but you also have absolutely no idea what's at B. There's also 2 trophy systems down there and a nasty crossfire.
Tá defendendo bem.
And Curly and Malchi just been having about a minute 20 conversation of, hey, how you doing? Waiting for this hit to come all the way through, and it's going to have to be A at this point. Nice shots coming through from Clo.
Tem 2 cara
He's going to
trailer.
bring us down to a 4v3, and the bomb's going to get planted as well. You should know that you still have players lurking around trailer.
Susano is watching the flank. Q9 opting to stack. PJ on an off-angle frontside trailer. Clo watching for the pinch. Motion from PJ. He gets the first. That gives a little bit of influence in terms of what Clo needs to watch, but he only goes 1 for 1. Down to the 1v2 for Susano. Can he follow up on what he started last round? The smoke
smoke aí quebrou ele.
He has to check for the defuse. Does he get forward in time? No,
não tinha que ele fazer não, mano.
Curly's able to find the kill, and Q9 get the defuse.
Smoke that lane is just so annoying when you're in the sniper.
Smocou já era. Não enxerga nada.
Has to push all the way forward and just hope to quick scope and gun the first guy and catch the second one trying to stick. Not going to be the case at all. Q9, 2 rounds away from tying up our grand finals at a best of 7. Sun going back to the very similar position. Just going to nade his way forward. Nades all the way over towards A. Elevate looking to pick the pace up.
Yep. And these are late smokes as well behind the cover of those frag grenades, so they are going to fully embellish the backside at barrels.
Nossa, se ele atira, ele mata.
Yeah.
You get the bomb planted, and yes, they have a deep post plan, but they've got no idea what's over towards trailer. That nade does land, though, so they're going to have an idea that Chen's in position. This is an important 1v1 that Clo takes cleanly. And now all of a sudden, Q9 have a bit of a ruffling to their feathers as they need to find a way in. There's not a lot of options besides the front.
And that's all the information you need right there. Chen swings wide. He has an LMG. Good couple kills come through. The nade bounce is even better. Still walks away with a second 1v3.
Have to be a full ace. If you're Chen after the first 2, he's going to get cut down from behind.
Tudo igual, galera.
Elevate, who have opted
5-5.
deep, holding deep into sight. Very fortunate to not
Os dois times eles estão jogando bem, defendendo e atacando. Os dois times tá bem equilibrado.
Good patience for Clo, to your point there, holding out on the flank. But again, getting the information for Chen. Just had to make sure that you double, sometimes triple challenge. Tied up again. Round we go, but it's an aggressive hit over towards B. This time
Elevate veio pra B agora. Já levou o Lin. Tem uma OC no fundo, levou 2. Tem agora mais um aí pra ajudar ele. 3, 2, mais 2 caras. No! Ele veio pelas costas. Ele veio pelas costas, mano.
Clo trying to follow up, and he's going to find the final 2. Elevate on map point.
Oh my gosh. And how the pendulum swings once again. Elevate flipping the script. The aggressive hit over towards B was great. The smoke delayed, but they did not relent off the pressure. Can you follow up here? Will you deny any OT?
Trophy systems again, down over towards trailer. Double smokes in the front side of it will mean that this Q9 defense will have to be respectful of anything possibly through middle. Uling in particular, the one to make sure everything is clear. And as he traverses through mid, he rotates back over to help out on B. Patience for Elevate. Trying to get this thing done in regulation. Stacked up. Just a nade to feel things out over towards A. That will not land, and we're going to get just an even status here, 5v5, minute 20 on the clock.
Yeah. Late util could be very important here. Clo is actually, instead of just holding the flank, is actually playing inside of the jungle tower. And he might try to go for a little bit of a late pinch should the rest of his teammates find success on a quick plan towards A, but there are defensive members here. Most importantly is Chen inside that trailer.
But Chen has the shotgun this time. So it's an aggressive angle on the barrel. Smoke denied by Trophy System. Sun showing too much shoulder. That's enough for the kill to come out. And Chen needs help. He needs it badly. Plant on the
Pra fechar, hein?
4v5 situation.
Vantagem de uma kill, bomba plantada. Elevate ganha essa daqui, vai pro control. Olha o Clo. Olha o Clo novamente pelas costas. Na verdade, é outro player, né? Mas mais um player pegando os caras pelas costas. Acabou, galera. Acabou. Elevate ganhou esse SD aqui, velho. Meu Deus, mano. Esses caras, eu falo. Tem condições não. Esses caras é muito bom. Cara, é o nível mais alto que eu já vi no codmobile. Desses caras da Elevate, é o nível mais alto. Eu nunca vi um time jogar tanto como esses caras, mano. Eu nunca vi. Até a gente que assiste, a gente sabe o que tá acontecendo, a gente fica perdido. A gente fica perdido, pô. 2 rounds que um pegou costas. 2 rounds seguidos. Os caras foi pra um bombe e um deu a volta pelo mapa, pelo outro bombe, 2 vezes. Não sei se puxou pelo meio, não sei se deu a volta pelo outro bombe, entendeu? Mas porra, nunca vi um time jogar tanto como Elevate, velho. De verdade, mano. É bizarro o nível que esses caras tão, mano.
Wouldn't they be? Elevate find themselves up in a major way, 2-0 after surviving through a gauntlet of a Summit Hardpoint. They do the same thing on the firing range search, and now we jump into raid control. Proper, talk to me.
Não vai ter não, Pills. Sabe por que não vai ter? Disputa de terceiro lugar, por causa que o valor do terceiro e do quarto é o mesmo. Entendeu? Por isso.
Was where the best of 3 ended when these 2 juggernauts face off against each other within the Swiss stage. I don't like the chances for Q9, but I love being proved wrong. It's gonna have to start right here again. 0-2 is no easy feat in a best of 7 to even surmount the comeback. But for a full-blown reverse sweep and a loss on raid control would be detrimental to the success of Q9.
Any takeaways from the Q9 survivability that they just showcased versus X-Rock on this map, though? I mean, I think the recency would say, all right, you had a really strong start, you stopped X-Rock from finding early success, and you were able to take them down here.
You're going to need all of those opening breakoffs they had that led them to the success that they saw in that map number 3 versus X-Rock, plus a little bit extra. Elevate never give you any easy gunfights as you see in the opening here.
Indeed the case. Well, Elevate, this is their map selection for the controls. They will start on offense, and PJ is already off and running. 3 kills for PJ. Trying to take his efforts towards top laundry. Kendi here to get on the zone to stop the clock, and the kills are not stopping for Elevate. Uling able to at least keep laundry safe, but the Q9 defense is being tested.
Can't stop, won't stop. Elevate's presence on the map is just an absolute blunder. They have players on both the 2 zones because they are that much confident in being able to win the gunfights. But however, they do not go their way. So now Q9 essentially get a clean sweep. They're able to clear out all of the ring. Might have a little 1v1 for the spawn traps should PJ start to take this, but all the focus has to be over towards the poolside.
You also have Susano in basketball already, so this is good zoning around this zone for Elevate. The only threat would be through water steps or through money window. Q9 trying to force it on the ladder of the 2, but get pushed back. Kills good for Yopi as he pitches it towards Kitchen. Sun can only sit here and watch as the first take has already gone today.
Mauchi was trying to go for the spawn trap.
Mas a Elevate tá querendo fazer spawn trap.
Some timing to be able to work the pinch, and now he's all the way in from behind.
Good macro decisions coming out from Elevate, but Mauchi off the pitch will flush them out of the zone. Keep the clock at least relatively kicking as immediately off the respawn. Now you've got Elevate forcing some hands over towards B while simultaneously adding an extra 60 seconds with the A capture. Really strong break-off start here for Elevate. 2 life advantage, minute 40 on the clock.
I like what I'm seeing here. Start pushing off through open staircase. It is being watched around jungle side. That will be Sun to try to deal with this 2-player flank that's starting to come all the way through, but it's a great spread for an opening of a B defense.
Uling has also rotated back onto the side rock to make sure this laundry play is kept honest, at least in some regard. Meanwhile, Q9 from the front, dominating at Art. So again, it's an exchange of about 6 of one, half a dozen of another. Moments of brilliance for Q9, counteracted by moments of brilliance for Elevate. And now as the action starts to unfold on top of the zone, the Predators will call it in. That will be enough to allow Elevate to stay deep over towards laundry. They're on the zone. Second to progress.
Olha os caras na B. Olha os caras na B, rapaziada. Dominaram já 2 pedacinhos.
Unbelievable shot,
Pino.
but he does get pushed off the zone. Q9 down to a 4v6. Make it just 2 as Elevate continue to dominate
Duas vidas só.
laundry, and they're going to win
Vamos ter que fazer um impossível aqui. Já era, acabou. Acabou.
Close enough, and a 1v6 just impractical to ask for. An opening and a statement at that for Elevate, winning by way of segment progression. And again, the entire praise for Q9 when they did beat X-Rock earlier today was their opening breakoffs. Elevate are just going to be that much better at them as well. Great returning gunfights, great split decision making as well.
Ué, Notorious, mas eu já tô em live.
Just out of this world. Now you have to respond with an offense if you are Q9.
Big time. Early operators for Elevate finding success. PJ in particular, opening with the Annihilator, has another Pred missile to work with, and the shots just aren't missing. PJ, 5 in a row, working for an EMP. He's just one off of it. The Pred gets called in, and Q9 are getting battered, as now all of a sudden Yopi's adding insult to injury. Ah, it's beautiful. Sheer destruction, sheer bloodshed, and it's Elevate all over the spawn of Q9.
They can't leave. I mean, one player tried and then immediately got gunned towards the back. You got players over by the AC unit. You have to win gunfights mere milliseconds after spawning up, and so far
perderam 14 vidas, não conseguiram pular em nenhuma bandeira. Tem 40 segundos para pular na bandeira. E o mapa tá dominado pela Elevate. Tem chance de ganhar isso aqui? Tem. Muito difícil.
Decent eliminations for Q9, keep the clock paused. They're also digging into life deficit just a touch. Don't step off the gas here if you're Elevate. This is still workable if you're Q9.
E bem que os caras recuperou bem, né, ó. Bem rápido ainda. Só que também agora perderam bastante vida, né? Perdeu mais 2 vidas. Nossa, 19 segundos.
Stun coming over the top, and Elevator spotting just too damn close. So now the focus has to go back over towards A.
Well, PJ will drop. Clock will stop at 19 as the second to progress is about to come through at A. It looks like Elevate, and they just chalk and rotate. A couple of desperate nades just to see if anything will land. 14 will play 9. We'll have a minute 19 on the clock. Keys 1v1 here. Shots landing from Mauchi, but respecting the opponent of Glow. Nade Cook tossed back towards, and that's going to be good enough to isolate. So,
Q9 recuperou bem.
Operators
bem mesmo.
at the ready.
Conseguiram pegar a bandeira mais difícil.
How do you approach? I think this is what's most impressive is that Q9 were able to do that while still
sustaining and
holding on to all 5 operators. So that gives you an opportunity to maybe try to work on this transition. They trade for at least 1 in their base. Here comes the Annihilator.
Mano, a Q9 jogou, viu? O 5 tem especialista, mas um já perdeu. O Lin já perdeu o especialista dele. Que pode ser um problema. Tá vendo? Daí, ó. Quando você acha que a Q9 tá recuperando, a Elevate não deixa os caras crescer. E aí, o que acontece? 2 a 0.
But they're 0-2 down, and now you have to reverse sweep while holding on to all your resources. So you do have to be very smart with how you start dipping your toes into the resource pool.
Esse cara é muito bom. Se pá, eu acho que esse PJ pega MVP, mano. Se pá, eu acho que ele ganha esse título de melhor jogador em 2024, porque ele tá jogando muito bem. Ele tá com 17 kills aqui, ele morreu 5 vezes só. Mas não é só essa partida não, pô. O cara jogou várias partidas muito bem. Tanto é que ele tá até esticado, cara. Ele tá em bem.
Streaks, operators at the ready for Elevate. Yopi's gonna call in a Predator missile. It will find one as the
eles são muito agressivos. A A já tá sendo conquistada.
A-zone still being tacked over. The third segment will be contested by a couple of Q9 players.
Aí, capturaram. Já foi. Olha quem tá lá do outro lado, galera. Yopi já tá lá do outro lado pegando a B, meu Deus do céu. Olha só o Candy de máquina de guerra pra segurar os caras ali. Ai, PJ no spawn. Ai, meu Deus do céu. Acaba isso aqui logo. Acaba. Coitada da Q9. Tá fazendo o que fez com a Galus? Ave Maria. Aí a Galus que é um time ruim. Aí a Galus que não treinou, que não evoluiu, que o Brasil é ruim. E não sei o que, que ai, pode aposentar. Ai, não sei o que. Meu Deus. Rapaz, 3 a 0 contra, 3 a 0 em mapas. E tá aí, pô. É. É isso aí. É isso aí, né, rapaziada? Ai, nós que é ruim, pô. Os caras tá muito bom, velho. Os caras é outro nível. É outro nível os caras jogando. Não tem como. Os 5. Esses 5 canalhas aí. Esses 5 canalhas aí, eles são super dotados. Eles são super dotados. Porque, pô, o que eles jogam é brincadeira, velho. Super dotados do codmobile.
Yeah, I mean that's just a different type of mental hurdle that you can never prepare for. Nobody wants to be coin to Silver Surfer, but Q9 have yet to break the mold, and again, now the road becomes that much more treacherous. That's why we put in immediate focus when we saw the best 7 map set.
Será que eu acertei?
Focus on the first 3 because Q9 needed that search and destroy, and I'm not saying that loud enough. They desperately needed that map too.
Eu não entendi, galera. Como assim lá ele?
The fact of the matter is,
eu não
we're going
entendi.
into a Hacienda Hardpoint, and albeit Q9's Hardpoint pick, they only just narrowly beat X-Rock earlier today.
Eu vou com calma. Não, vou com calma, galera. Não acabou ainda. Não acabou ainda não. Tem muito jogo. Eu posso ter errado.
Wow. Not good news for Q9.
Indeed.
Voltamos pro HP. Voltamos pro melhor modo de Elevate.
Unbelievable. Every opponent they faced with no second chance at CDSI. Lower bracket run. They had to go through.
Será que eu tô sendo muito rápido mesmo? De ter falado 4-0? Será que eu fui chato com a Q9? Ou eu só fui verdadeiro?
Hacienda Hardpoint, 3-0 up or elevate, trying to do this in emphatic and perfect form. Do they have what it takes to get it done here? As mentioned, they have gone through a gauntlet.
Vamos ver. Vamos ver se aqui acaba ou se tem mais jogo. Vamos lá, vamos lá. Vamos acompanhar esse Hacienda.
Had to get through Wolves, had to get through X-Rock, had to get through Q9, and that's just at CDSI. They had to do that all over again here at Champs, and so far it's been good. But Q9 on their
Q9 sempre começa muito bem aqui no aberto. Olha, eles sempre começam muito bem, mata bem e tal. Presta atenção, galera, ó. As trocações iniciais, a Q9 ganhou todas. Daqui a pouco a Elevate começa a crescer.
However, though, Susano does not get forward into the Q9 windows. So that will be enough for Q9 to bounce back, get back to the hard point, and still win the high ground emphatically. More score being tallied for Q9 off their respawn over towards open stairs. They're also going to have high ground control. Kendi feeling the pressure, jumps on in for the contest, but met by Sun on the corner. Mauchi also still alive on 6 in a row. A perfect start for him. Eventually shut down as Elevate will get into the hard point for 10 seconds to fight.
Yep. That'll give them ever so slight lead, but most importantly, ever since that spawn.
Elevate já pegou rotação já. Elevate já pegou rotação.
Yeah, and you've got number 2 in PJ SMG in hand playing over towards Tiles. He'll be the first set of defense from the front. You also have Elevate responsible for the back, and they're finding kills on the flank. So now it's just down to what happens from the front side. Chloe, brilliant
Chloe sua grau, como sempre, né?
Elevate not preferring to play with 2 Odins. They're just going to run things like the Type 19 right
Grauzinha criminosa.
And that little bit of extra aggression allows them to play with a little bit more speed. Good opening. First 20 seconds go to Elevate, but they are now spawning out. Q9 from behind, not finding success on their break with the proximal spawn.
Já sabe que os caras vão nascer rampa, já olharam rampa. Olha só, olha que bonito que os caras jogam. Várias granadas, smoke. Q9 não consegue contestar de jeito nenhum. Matou até na smoke, ó. Pra mostrar que ele não precisa de hack pra isso, que ele é bom assim mesmo no Mundial, olha. Beleza, P2 perfeito. P2 perfeito da Elevate. Rotação é de quem? Da Q9. Qual que é o problema? 3 especialistas da Elevate. E os caras não erram especialista. 3 especialistas da Q9 também. Vamos ver. Vamos ver. Eu quero ver, quero ver. Tá bom. Especialista do Suzano. Perfeito. Segurando aqui, olha. Segurando o escritório, rapaziada. Já quebraram, meu Deus. Já quebraram. Já quebraram. Deu nem 4 segundos. Nem 5 segundos. Olha ali o Clo. Fazendo o trap nos caras. Yopi já ali fazendo uma marcação mais atrás. Galera. Galera, esses caras aqui são os alienígenas. Tá maluco. Olha. Olha, velho. Que isso, eles jogam muito bonito, velho. Que isso, cara. Meu Deus, controle de respawn na Q9, pô. Top 2 da China. Ave Maria. Olha só, Clo estricado. Rotação da Q9 de novo. Só tem ali quem? Número 2. Quem que é? Maok. Maok vai segurar essa brincadeira aí. Ixi. Ixi.
And Elevate's looking around like, what do you mean? Did you see what was happening? We're blowing them out of the water, but both refs are actively discussing.
Ixi Maria, o que aconteceu aí?
May have been something going on with the setup for Q9, as obviously that was about as bad as we've seen all weekend.
Yeah, something did feel a little off, but also that very much so could have been just Elevate. Being Elevate.
Well, that's, you know, I wouldn't.
Rapaz, aconteceu alguma coisa no celular do Sam. É exato, é o Colosso falou, né, mano? Não tem tanta org que investe no jogo, não tem tantos campeonatos, não tem tantos players. Ah, olha só, então a Elevate tá com 71 pontos e a King Club tá com 19. Perfeito.
So 71 plays 22. Q9 do have an advantage when it comes to the early operators, as we still have a full P3 to fight for.
Yeah, let's not forget what Elevate did do once they had all of their operators available. Post the game being re-put together, they popped everything all at the same time, but Q9 do have that advantage here. They're still in possession of the time.
Yeah, Gravity Vortex gun also being spent to block this rotation over on the back. And ooh, for a moment, you thought there was going to be the long wrap coming out of Curly. Not going to happen. He just holds on to the top side of patio. Has himself a Predator missile. And oh, shuts down Kendi's War Machine. So here we go. All of a sudden, Q9, a little bit of extra life since our restart. Trade's looking decent for Elevate, but the back scrap time still looking pretty solid for Q9. Pred missile called in to stop the Purifier, and the last challenge is on.
And you saw a slight little moment right there that had this lead be grown before.
Pra quem chegou agora na live e tava meio perdido, se a Elevate ganhar esse mapa, galera, acabou. Elevate é o melhor time do mundo de 2024. E é isso.
Yeah, it's one of those things like if you know you're going up against an automatic rifle
Q9 inteira já no ponto.
First and use the power of the Odin. That has been a little bit of an issue at times for Q9. Although here, you've got Chen on a Purifier, locking things down towards the open staircase. Now takes his attention back over towards Tiles as the rest of his teammates are getting a read that, yep, Elevator coming over towards the P2 side. Up and over, Kendi trying to find some different angle to make a move, but not gonna work out. Chen continues to rip him apart with the Purifier, and Q9 have brought this back to within 20 points.
Chen still has Purifier through upper halls, but all of this push from the respawns is manifesting all the way through the driveway. They're already past Lambo, up on top of the water side, trying to keep it contested.
Sun, one more shot with the Sparrow lands. Bold break attempt from Clo with the equalizers, only gets one. Trying to open the door for his teammates to fly forward, and boy, will they ever. Oh man, what a clean break for Elevate at the scrap time. Now trying to take the battle a step further as Q9 are a bit stuck over towards Lambo.
Chen tried to utilize the Predator missile just to help him and his teammates of Q9 try to maneuver their way out from Lambo. 102 to 69, going back towards P1 again with this 40-point lead.
Looking really solid, even pushing beyond the limits of this hard point. Maybe trying to get an early flip of the spawns, and that will be occurring as Elevate move over towards lobby side. Q9, a chance to win the windows, though, with this long rotation, but not coming away with any of the gunfights. It's a 40-point lead and growing as Elevate still find themselves in the hard point.
Really good positional awareness coming through from Elevate. A lot of focus down low, but look at the upper hallway control. Again, Clo is a problem so long as he continues to run these routes. Everybody from Q9 are more or less just trapped on the office side to try to get inside of upper halls. You can see what it means for Elevate, just soaking up more time.
Yeah, and this is just such a good response here from Elevate.
Olha aí, galera, a diferença de pontuação da Elevate. Olha a diferença. Quase o dobro. O Lin, como sempre, com muita kill, né? 28 kills do Lin. O Lin é muito bom nesse mapa, ele sempre mata muito. PJ já tá no próximo. Suzano puxou garra.
He's got himself up and open with initially what was a Sparrow, and actually on the response here, Q9, they throw a gravity vortex
mandou R$5. Estou triste pela Galleries, mas faz parte. Manda um salve pra galera da The Fearless. Te amo, Japinha.
Valeu, DKzinho. Salve só pra galera aí da The Fearless. Acontece.
Acontece. 25 seconds or so. And Elevate, well, they might just have to concede it, but they're trying to take advantage of this pinch that comes through. Chen, with the Purifier, shuts the majority of it down.
Aí a Q9 jogou muito aqui, hein? Aí a Q9 jogou muito. 10 segundos.
Nicole JJ mandou R$5. Japa, eu e meu namorado assistíamos aos seus ao vivo juntos. Terminamos. Stanley, te odeio.
Kendi playing over the well, though. A difficult spot to deal with, and that's why this lets the Type 19 rip through Q9's rotation, and now Elevate has spawn moving into new.
E meu namorado assistimos os seus ao vivo juntos, terminamos. Ih, rapaz. Tenho nada a ver com isso não, hein. Tenho nada a ver com isso não, hein. Nossa, que 9 voltou muito. Olha os caras comemorando, galera. Tá pra escutar. Não sei se é a torcida ou os caras gritando, né? Mas deve ser a torcida. Olha, velho. Tá maluco. É 1, é 2, é 3, é 4. Vamos ver isso aqui, ó. O Lin contestando ponto. 37 kills. O Lin não para de matar, não, galera. O Lin não para de matar, não, filho. Se ele matar 60, 70, a Q9 ganha. Rotação. Foi. Até o último segundo. Não tem desperdício, não. Clo vai pegar a rotação dos caras. Suzano já deitou uma ok. O Sam fazendo trap aqui. Caralho, ele não para de matar, galera. Ele não para de matar. Perdeu especialista. Raro acontecer isso.
Just need to get Curly inside this hardpoint. Has an equalizer at the ready. Could be the difference maker in between flipping the lead fully, but it could just be the gunny that is getting the job done. Suzano down low, will find a trade. Split spawn dealt with.
Chupa Lulu.
Q9 hold.
Nossa, não sei como é que o Suzano não foi chupar. Mano, olha esse Lin, galera. Olha esse Lin. Viraram, hein? Rapaz.
For the first time this entire map for Q9 have a lead. 178 to 158. We go again. Back to the center of the map. A couple hunter killer drones being thrown out from the upper windows for Q9. Trying to win the jostling for position.
O Lin faz muita diferença nesse Hacienda. Faz muita diferença. Enquanto o Sam tá com 20 kills só.
Suzano, good read, able to clean up Uling. Now it's just down to what else can he find? Part of me is that smoke even on screen. Suzano
dentro da smoke o cara acerta tiro. Que isso?
Guys got infrared goggles or something. I don't know. But Elevate now on 3 in a row can get more time to try to bring this back to level terms.
Q9 now on the unfavored side, but it's just sprinting straight into the site itself. Curly goes on a massive spree, but it's a good couple trades to come through for Elevate. They'll maintain good high ground positioning. But one player has actually slipped the net. Chan's all the way through the Lambo side, and you might have to have that realization sooner rather than later if you are Elevate.
Yopi unreal.
Tudo igual, hein? Tudo igual, hein, galera?
Shut down as Sun and Uling will string together a couple of fadeaway kills for Q9. Spawn situation, good for Elevate for now, but this hardpoint isn't open yet, so it's still going to be well-sided spawns. Q9 spawning towards the bottom side of the map. Every gunfight is a big one.
Nossa, jogou mal pra caraca. Jogou mal pra caraca, hein? Não tinha necessidade de ter rushado, não. Era só marcar rush por dentro do ponto mesmo e é isso. Os caras vão gastar tudo especialista aqui, ó. Vixe, Maria. Ó, quebra. Olha a quebra da Elevate. Perdeu o especialista. Perdeu o Maok de novo com seu chupa-lulu aqui.
35 seconds to fight for. Elevate spawning close. Here comes Susano, able to get the first.
Suzano tá insano, viu? Suzano tá insano.
Rolling has a war machine, is actually going to decide to call it in right here. It's going to match that from PJ, has a Purify on the opposite side.
Purify, levou. Levou mais um.
Elevate, 15 seconds, looking good for them. Q9 splitting all over the map in terms of their spawns, so they're going to send 2 on rotation, 3 trying to finesse the exit, and through this smoke, Elevate are not going to be denied as they will make sure every single second is contested.
Yeah, Nossa. Just die at the old time. You also have one player of Sun that spawns over by the rocks, maybe looking for a couple
Rotação é da Q9.
open staircase, but the foot race was on quite some time ago.
Momentos finais, hein? Momentos finais.
Yobi gets shut down from his Sparrow. Clo has
Elevate perdeu vários especialistas agora de besteira. De besteira.
What can PJ do from inside the hill? Finds the first, tucked into a corner. No trade. He's off the regen. PJ's getting the help from Clo. That was just down to what can Q9 do. They still don't know PJ's here. He's going to finesse around the back line. Kendi now all of a sudden has the war machine. He gets pushed on and at least trades out his life. Even battle over the top of the hardpoint. 225 to 210. Favor to Q9.
Curly is going crazy right now. 47th kill for them in this map number 4, 228. And counting on up, but PJ still hanging around the joint. Is able to combine for 2. Sun's nade at least finds a trade on the Clo. But all this time is Danning and Elevator getting closer to the lead that Q9 has.
That is one slippery son of a gun. PJ sliding back and forth. Opens up the hard point again.
Suzano e Clo já vai fazer a rotação. Clo vai pegar os caras rotando.
Elevate committing every single resource.
Nossa, o Clo salvou muito.
Q9 a bit split as Elevate just run right in. It surprises Q9.
Meu Deus, quebraram. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. De novo?
And he knows exactly where Q9 are coming from. No operators available for Q9 to respond to this, but they still find the shutdown regardless. Follow-up from PJ is good. Now it's down to Clo. Over the top, he's able to find one. Elevate, a chance to put the game away here, but the contest is still alive. Q9 coming fully off the respawn through boat.
Equalizer called.
Nossa, perdeu. Meu Deus. Só deu Elevate. Oh my goodness.
Elevate can still win here.
Last 10 seconds over the
Oh my goodness.
Have given its toughest challenge to
Oh my goodness. Nossa. Que eu falei? Que eu falei, galera? 4-0 Elevate, pô. 4-0 Elevate. É só esperar os minutos finais. É só esperar, só ter calma, velho. Os caras recuperam. Então de parabéns. Tá louco. Melhor time do mundo, filho. Nunca vi um time jogar igual em todos esses anos. Que não tem partida perdida, não tem jogada perdida. Os caras sempre dão um jeito. 4-0. Ai. Aí, não deu pra Q9 não, pô. Parabéns pra Q9 também, jogaram muito. Achei que essa final ia dar uma X-Rock e Elevate, mas a Q9 ganhou da X-Rock.
5 second place finishes. Tough seeds, but at the end there can only be one. And Elevate did it on the Eastern Hemisphere. Elevate did it on the world stage. Your 2024
já botaram o anelzinho.
World Champions, it's Elevate!